OBS is bouncing between 60 frames per second and 10 frames per second, and I don't know what to make of that. My GPU is at 89% utilization, 66, 63. Okay. Whoa. It shot up. 89%, 63%. It's hovering at 63%. But now the stream is staying at 60%, which is what I want. Or 60 frames per second, I mean. Okay, we're gonna try this. I might have to buy a new GPU. But until then, maybe I could just play the game at 30 frames per second because, like, cares? Who cares? Oh no, 30 frames per second. Ah, my eyes. %. I'm just paranoid now, just constantly checking GPU utilization. Here is the terminal. Iconic corruption, an overview. That sounds promising. Indeed, let us see what this report has to say. Confound it. The content appears to have been deleted. What? Isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid, but it may be that another copy of the report exists somewhere. The question is where to look. It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility. Assuming that he was a researcher here, he will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We can ascertain the details at Habisphere Control. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the Monocutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot. You already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship then. See you at the Habisphere. I need to buy a new GPU before the tariffs go into effect. Which, if what we've been led to believe is true, is like 2 days from now. Midgard somewhere. While we're here, at least. It's hanging above 55 frames per second. God, I hate having to be worried about PC performance. Here's the thing, right? When you're playing on PC, there's like pressure to optimize because you know it can look better. Even if it's like, okay, if I play on the Switch and the thing hits like 40 frames per second, I don't give a shit because I know there's nothing I can do. And I kind of like that. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like having no control over, or no liability over the quality of what's happening. Like, oh, Tears of the Kingdom is running at 20 frames per second? Not my problem, I didn't do it. Sorry. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this note will be able to tell us its number. There. From what I recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning, an evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the hemisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Zzz. Energy level critical. Returning to base for recharging. Well, there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example. Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. Yonder control mechanism. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall they are known to form at points of stagnant aether throughout the continent. You seem to recall. Are you honestly telling me that that was in the records too? Whatever contrived knowledge is necessary to move the plot forward was in the records. I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspected aether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with the equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there is no such thing as too much elegant knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source. To home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind. In the Mind Palace. But to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard. If I may, I suggest we split up and search the Beta Quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest here where the aether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with the shard wins. What do you say? Very well. It would be my honor to come third. Designated loser. Find a point of stagnant lightning. It's over there. I'll be gripped by the Deathclaw. I don't think it's a Linux problem. I was streaming this game without issue for a long time after I switched to Linux. I don't know when it started to happen. Maybe it was an update with the game? It was after the graphics update. Stagnant lightning. Yeah, give me that. Yoink. Do I remember how to play? They're level 80. Yeah, those weren't here before. Right, I push the buttons in the order that I set them and it works. Yoink. Bravo. That was quite a show, adventurer. Why, the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thought of the prize slipped my mind. It appears that I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations. The lightning shard is yours. No dramatic entrance? You've changed. You remember that? In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. Is it an everyday you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all? Well, the contest continues, so you'd better hurry back. One last thing. Thank you, Hugo, for bringing me here. I mean, this wasn't my idea and I didn't pilot the ship, so whatever. I'll take credit, I guess.
B Street.
Here's Alice, I had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. May I have the shard? A lightning shard that fairly dances with the concentrated lightning it harbors. Yeah. What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? That is a question I have too asked myself on numerous occasions. I expect we could both learn a great deal from him. Not only about the secrets of adventure. What are you doing? You have an appointment Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, you can just say that.
Okay.
I might prefer that. Oh yeah, are you going to the post office today for the fingerprints?
I'm gonna try to, yeah.
Huh?
I'm gonna try to, yeah.
Okay. When do you think you'll go? Okay.
Neat. Have fun.
No.
Try.
Are you staying here?
No.
Okay.
You want me to?
I just want to know. I just want to have certainty.
I was gonna color for a bit, but I can go.
You don't have to go.
Okay.
But also, like, do whatever you want. I just want to know if you're going to be in here or not.
Okay, I'm gonna color for a bit.
Okay. I just want to know. Responded as intended, we have access to the Habisphere. One obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I am right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes. But if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Will he get out unmolested? One second, I'm just checking something. Well, nothing but to do but sit tight. Sure, this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption in overview sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of the Aether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphina's was more philosophical, of course. Political, I dare say. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world, okay. A controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Charlayan's knowledge should be rightly used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the Forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Alphina was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently. By which I mean, the rows were long. To be fair to him, though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded, but deep down he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. could have liked to meet the young Alphino. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the Allegan civilization as depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Baldestian convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved, but enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. Is it a cop? If a copy of his report still survives, it should be stored on this device. Shall we find out? Initializing. Scanning for a registered user. User not found. To proceed as a guest, please complete biometric authentication. Pisses on the orb. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble service, Your Highness. Never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Uni said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for Iconic Corruption. Searching. One item found. Iconic Corruption. An overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. ON123. Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the knife to know the password. That's right. Let's see. Glory to be Alag. Long live Emperor Zandy. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now. Passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance. Password, no way. The notion the password could be something so insane would be laughable if it were not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place. Whoa. What did that thing call me? Handmaiden. Wild Rose. Password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Come, let us bear the note back to the Rising Stones. Ovum meatballs, that's disgusting. I'll take them. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambrose did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. However much I might look forward to seeing him again, him and everyone else. Let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? By Asla. Yeah, probably not going back to the Crystarium regularly anymore. Unfortunately. Wonderful news, Ryugo. Itaru contacted Sid on our behalf, and he's on his way here even as we speak. While we wait, I would very much like to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryl? Begging for a voice-acted cutscene. Nope. As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Secession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the Third, or Illord, a region aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Brutus. Aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Asahi? This bodes well. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Uyanje will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in this conflict, and so thanks, in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Gimlet, they've decided to return their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions amongst the Beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they would wish to put their respective houses in order and ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, that is not a problem easily solved. Lemonsons in particular struggle in their efforts, and Alphino and Y'shtola have been called upon to aid them. So as long as we are dealing with the Tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. Holding on to 60 FPS. What say you, Node? Warning, His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. Ow. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we're of hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted to help with something. What was it? Well. A treatment for the tempering, and for the next step you need to find the password to this Allegan report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly. Thus we turn to you. Well, I'd say that we could help you, but we will. Once a suitably configured magic terminal should make work of identifying the password, they're gonna brute force it. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rambros. It contains an Allegan dictionary. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it up to work right away. Ding. Food ready. Chicken tendies ready. It looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady. Node. Open the report entitled Iconic Corruption, an overview. Password, freedom. Password accepted. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and blind men to the will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the aether of the soul. Said aether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the aether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the aether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's aether to become aligned with the element of earth. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth aspect magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. Getting low frames per second, I'm holding. Seeing if I can write it out. The stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon. The thoughts of the whole come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon. Their prayers serving to further empower the entity. I think Sephiroth being on screen is doing it. GPU stat. 67%? That's not bad. Why? Oh, we're back at 60. Weird. Click in-game back to 20. Yeah. In the course of testing many of my systems, good men and women all fell victim to the corruption. And in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I have submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. And record it. So not even the Elegans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms the stagnation still is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet were we simply able to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear to do so not to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining in its thrall. Gotta make them remember who they were. But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effect of only those memories that existed prior to the tempering. Though, thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached could not provide the basis for a cure. It is perhaps we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics, which leads me to believe it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password, but it will take more calculating power. A lot more. I couldn't honestly say whether our experiment would be up to the task, whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you propose that one locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anybody with leisure in a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look? No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology or some such. You two, round up as many magic terminals as you can and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Things are about to get very busy. Lucky for you to help, eh? Hmm. I don't know why it chugged more during the cutscene. I feel like I shouldn't need a new GPU. I mean, it's nothing new, but it was a good one like 3 years ago. And this is like a 10-year-old game, but they did do the graphics update. But it was working fine after that for a while. I don't know. Right. Agrahat and I configured the terminals. I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, cerulean to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventures and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Ryugo and Alice with the ceruleum. There's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel manufactory in Ishgard and the cerulean processing plant in Thanalan. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Probably just buy a new GPU after the stream is over. You stand in the Sky Steel manufactory. What is it you require? So you're after ceruleum. In that case, please present a note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Airship landing. Am I blind? I was blind. Ceruleum, you've come to the right man. Fair warning though, the price has shot up on account of the uncertainty of the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. A promissory note from the Ironworks? Don't see many of these. Not that's a problem, it's as good as gold to me. That guy. Americ.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo,
Voiced.
what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course.
Hi.
Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you?
Sure.
Tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed.
Okay, calm down.
Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it. In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Everyone's waving.
Oh, who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a
Oh.
while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering.
Your glasses suck.
But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
Ask Jessie. She was the one who hired you. All I know is you're an employee of the Ironworks now, so you'll bloody well earn your keep.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time.
Eventually.
Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 paths to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin. All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while.
Oh yeah?
Damn it. It's overloading.
Calculation is too hard.
She won't last much longer! We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close. So very close.
Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There.
There. Did you read it before the window closed?
I was able to memorize the magic before it faded.
Okay.
It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
Photographic memory. I don't remember. They calculated the cure somehow. I don't remember how they did that.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Gamed too hard.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Focus. There we go.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Yeah. Long last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quietly confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. As long as you exercise due caution. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then, let us make for Linza. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. Maelstrom command. Aft castle. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our hosts bring Gabu to us at once.
Apologies for the wait.
Wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Silence.
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to
Pirates.
having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul.
Who is Angelo again? Is that the pig?
Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Ah, nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
By doing so,
Pig.
we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I for one would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission then, let us begin.
Do it.
Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn.
My turn.
Tis done.
No small amount indeed.
Well, we
Is it
seem
raining?
to go where even the Allagans did not. It was never like to be easy.
Not yet.
The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Ah, boo. Hello.
'Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
How's it going? How's it? Trying to fix Gaboo. It's gobbing time. Seems as good a spot as any to have a rest. Deep cleaning. Deep cleaning.
For years, Eorzea has labored to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago.
Hold that thought, Alphino. So, I don't know what happened. I had played this game on high settings with this GPU, streaming several times, including the end of Shadowbringers, which was quite intensive. No problems. And this was obviously after the graphics upgrade to the game. I don't know what changed. I don't think it was my OS. I don't think I updated OBS. Maybe the game was patched and something happened. I don't know. But all of a sudden, I couldn't play the game at 60 frames per second anymore. When I was streaming it earlier, the stream was at like 5 frames per second because the encoder was overloaded because GPU utilization was at 100%. So I lowered the graphics settings a bit and I capped it at 30%, or not 30%, 30 frames per second, and now GPU utilization is like hovering around 50%. And it still seems to chug a little bit, specifically in cutscenes, so I don't know what's going on. I might buy a new GPU. I feel like I shouldn't need to, because this problem is sudden and has come on without cause, really. And also, this is like, what, a 13-year-old game? But also, it's also kind of time for me to upgrade, so it's maybe a push to do that. So I like, there's gonna be a whole VOD of like 20 minutes before I cut the stream earlier where it's just like unwatchable. I'm still gonna upload it because I want to waste space on YouTube server farms, but...
I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light corrupted alike.
As you were saying,
they were problems
Alpha,
to be tolerated,
go on.
or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation.
The twins are spiteful to each other in person, and then as soon as they're alone with you, they just want to praise their sibling and be sad that they're not like them. All I can say is that your recently upgraded PC runs Minecraft so well. What GPU's in that thing?
However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion.
Maybe the Crystal Braves wouldn't have fucked up. I kind of do the thing where, like, I'll upgrade my whole PC except the GPU, because that's the most expensive part, and then, like, a couple years later, upgrade the GPU. And then, you know, kind of repeat that cycle, like, every 5 years, so the GPU is on, like, a delay from the rest of it. Also, GPU prices were, like, insanely inflated last time I upgraded my PC. And I'm kind of afraid they might still be, and I'm worried about what the tariffs are gonna do, but we'll see. Maybe I should order one immediately before that happens on, like, I don't know, Monday. Uh-oh. Don't tell me, tell her.
I should, I know. Yet, despite my good intent, I have the feeling that I would only succeed in incurring her ire.
A 3060 Ti. In my computer right now, I have a 1660. It's old. and I know I need to upgrade, but it was I'm just frustrated that it was working fine for everything, and now it suddenly isn't, but maybe that's just the fact that it's old. They have a lifespan. I have to remind myself of that. What is wrong with her?
Alize, are you all right?
I don't remember what our good GPU is, but it's actually in the game room PC, because that's where the VR and Beat Saber happens. I can't complain that a 1660 is chugging.
Delighted, happy, glad.
Oh my god, Gabu is fixed.
Gabu!
And now he'll never shut up. He'll never stop talking. The last time Gabu spoke, the game didn't have like regular voice acting. It was very sparse.
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan.
All hail Titan.
I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart.
Oh, right.
Constantly, ever, always.
I forgot his parents were like atomized in front of him.
I tried to focus on their faces. Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
I'm like 100% certain he wasn't voiced before, because I would remember he sounds like Tiny Tim. Dickensian child with disease.
Your hopes reached Gabu.
Gabu.
They helped him to hold on.
Gabumafu.
I'm so proud of you, Gabu.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use.
The treatment only works on Gabu.
As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gabu alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul.
The soul.
It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gabu, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not?
Porkses.
Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
I totally don't remember why the Porkses are, like, imperative to this process, or where they come from, or what they do. They just pull out the floating pig and magic happens.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya. The real one.
A real one.
I have to go now, Gabu. But the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Complete. Oh. lemon waffle. Why would I ever not take the lemon waffle? Like master, like pupil. As she will be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first. This seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. It's so out of the way. Remote hermit-ass witch. I think it's this door. I mean, not that it matters, I can just fly over the ravine. Or maybe... Oh, okay. I thought there were multiple exits for some reason. The answering quarter. Oh yeah, graphics look way worse now. I get you ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of master and pupil? Very well. Joyous.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away. And for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Knights Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Matoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
You weren't supposed to say that.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
How embarrassing.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatir is my name, and I'm proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day.
Pig. Pig.
So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create porxes with the power to stir the soul.
Sure.
Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures.
30 to 40 feral hogs.
But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother porxie, as it were. Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
You need a mother in her moldy old hole? What? What are you talking about? Huh? Alright, off to my old workshop then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot in there since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing besides the trouble. Nothing to trouble the likes of you. We can consider cleaning up the place payment for my help. Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. There's no other objections. I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my porogos ahead to let you into the workshop. You only need to tell him who you are. One can't be too careful after all. Off you go. Baker's Quarter. Hi, Alexander. Can I, like, walk on this? Can I, like, step off here? No. I was wondering if I could walk on top of Alexander's time bubble. The unwashed. Stinky.
Greetings, Ribbit, and welcome to my mistress's relic. Rogo is my name, and I am honored to be your guide. Within you will find a space dedicated to the making of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the prerequisite ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a room, in over 15 years, and will, I regret, be in some disarray. But rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit, only say the word and I shall show you in.
Matoya's relic. Relict. Now unlocked. I'm gonna stop now. I'm going to play again later tonight, hopefully after I get back from my parents, and a lot this weekend. Before then, I'm gonna shop for a new GPU and hope it gets here soon. But I got a lot on my plate right now. Thanks for joining, people. Especially Dylan. Haven't seen you on here in a little while. Although you're probably lurking. Goodbye, see you later, and whatnot.